So it's 1930s. Times are tough, the Great Depression is on. That doesn't stop folks from wanting to eat really good food or even having a sweet treat every now and then. So enter the humble apple, the star of today's show. Apples are plentiful, relatively inexpensive, and versatile. You can make so many things out of apples, from pies to snacks to baked goods of any kind. You can throw an apple in there, right? They're the perfect fruit for a budget-conscious decade, including this one. But why baked apples? Well, think about it. Ovens were becoming a staple in the American home, and people were just experimenting with baked everything. Baked apples didn't become popular just because they're delicious, and they are, but because they're a smart way to make a really delicious dessert with inexpensive ingredients and without a lot of fuss. You basically core an apple, stuff it with a lot of like really yummy stuff like cinnamon and butter, sugar, maybe some raisins or nuts, whatever's on hand really, and then bake it to perfection. The result? A sweet, gooey, aromatic, yummy treat that'll make you forget all your woes for just a moment. But here's the kicker. Baked apples weren't just about taste. In the 1930s, there was this really big push for healthy eating, and apples were seen as nutritious. You know, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And baking them was a way to make a healthy dessert. It was like having your cake, or, well, apple, and eating it too. It's lunch with Lisa. So fast forward to today and you still see baked apples. They're still a hit. Why? Well, they're simple, they're nostalgic, and they remind us of a time when a little ingenuity in the kitchen could bring a smile to our plate and our face. Plus, they actually are a healthier option for a dessert, so imagine that. That's always a win. It's a dessert that survived the test of time, proving that sometimes the simplest things in life are the most satisfying. This recipe serves 6 at 227 calories per serving, with 3 grams of fat, 50 grams of carbs, but carbs from apples and a little sugar, and 1 gram of protein, except if you add ice cream. For this recipe, you're gonna need 6 baking apples like Fuji or Gala apples, half a cup of packed dark brown sugar, 3/4 teaspoon cinnamon, 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, 1½ tablespoons butter cut into 6 small chunks, 1½ cups apple cider vinegar or apple juice for the sweeter side, 2 tablespoons of brandy or bourbon, which is optional. I actually had some spiced rum for this, and it made this dish the bomb, so don't leave this out unless you want to. And 2 tablespoons lemon juice. And of course, some ice cream on the side if you want. You don't need it, but it takes this dessert to the next level. You gotta have some vanilla ice cream for this. My favorite is homemade vanilla ice cream from Bluebell. I've always loved this stuff. Probably not the best, but you could also make some yourself. Totally love making ice cream. It's so delicious. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees and put the rack in the middle of your oven. Now you're gonna use a melon baller to core your apples, or a knife or something that you're not gonna wanna cut through the very bottom. You wanna leave about a 1/2 inch at the bottom. So try not to core your apples all the way through. In a small bowl, you're gonna mix your sugar, your cinnamon, nutmeg, and salt. Then place your apples in a 2 to 2½ quart baking dish and spoon the sugar mixture evenly into your apples. Top each with a chunk of butter, and then combine your liquids together and pour it over your apples. You want to be 1 inch up the side of your baking dish with your liquid, so use more if necessary. Bake 45 minutes until your apples are tender, and let them cool. Transfer to a plate and serve with sauce or ice cream. And have my vanilla ice cream, which, holy crap. You could just use like some creme anglaise or something like that, but ice cream. Ice cream with this is the best. So definitely get you some vanilla. If you live in the southern states, I think Bluebell, they're so good. It's like apple pie. It is exactly like apple pie. No crust, but you don't really need it when it's this delicious. This dessert pairs beautifully with the other 1930s dish I made in my last video, the meatloaf, so go check that out there. So go bake some apples, let me know what you think, share them with your family, get some ice cream, leave a comment down below if you do, let me know how it goes, and let me know if there's another 1930s dish you'd like to see, and maybe I'll make it for you. Otherwise, see you in my next video. It's lunch with Lisa.